Today, we're broadcasting from Washington, D.C., where our prayers have been answered. It is official. Joe Biden is gone. Kamala Harris is gone. Everyone has cleaned out of the White House press office, and Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. J.D. Vance, the vice president. Right now, it happened. The day began at St. John's Church, where Donald Trump, his family, and incoming top officials worshiped and demonstrated that class and grace are back in the White House. Look at Melania, this incredible hat, absolutely stunning. All right, so here we got a little fashion info for you. Lippis, it is a guy named Adam Lippis who designed that beautiful dress. It was a navy blue coat. And then the hat was by Eric Javits, another New York-based designer. Lippis is 52. He rose to prominence as a creative director for Oscar de la Renta, but since 2004 has his own company. He also used to design for Target, so good for her for getting a guy who is close to being a man of the people. Mr. Trump and Melania then took a brief visit over to the White House, where President Biden was heard saying two words to President Trump: welcome home. Good line. This lovely little piece of jargon came just after Mr. Biden announced pardons for Dr. Fauci, the January 6th committee, General Mark Milley, and many, many others to protect them from, quote, baseless and politically motivated investigations, because who would want to be the target of one of those? And just before he pardoned five members of his family with about 15 minutes to go in his presidency, Mr. Biden, for the last time, using his power to protect those around him. We did Hunter in advance, and then he did brother Jim and the sister and the in-laws and basically anyone named Biden other than his daughter Ashley, who, as far as we know, has a substance abuse problem, but no criminality in her life. So at noon, his presidency did come to an end per the U.S. Constitution. Trump's began. And take a listen to the reaction from Trump supporters in the Capital One Arena here in Washington. It's where, I can't remember what they're called, but the hockey team and the basketball team play here inside, thanks to the extreme cold here. It is freaking cold in Washington as the new president entered the Capitol building on Capitol Hill. That's very cool. So what you're seeing there is that they're not anywhere near the action, right? The president's walking into the rotunda on Capitol Hill, a couple miles away. And so there were people who were in that room, and then there were people who were in the overflow room inside the U.S. Capitol building. And then these folks in the Capital One building, which is the sports arena, were overflow. And you would have thought they were right in front of him, given those cheers. The enthusiasm in this town right now is palpable. I mean, palpable. And here is the moment it became official, when Chief Justice of the United States, John Roberts, swore in Donald J. Trump as the 47th president.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Wow. Shaking the hand of outgoing President Joe Biden, hugging his family. There was a moment there where Chief Justice John Roberts got started a little sooner than the family anticipated, so Melania had to step in sort of at the very beginning of the oath, and then you saw Trump's children come sort of like, oh, it's time, we got to get over there. And Tiffany Trump who, was sort of in the middle, and it was kind of nice. Joe Biden kind of said, come over here and stand here. You could go a different way with it. You could go a different way, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was just being a nice guy. The crowd inside the Capitol included Trump's predecessors, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Not Michelle, because she's not a phony and she hates him and didn't want to be there. We don't know why she didn't come, but of course that's why she didn't come. The guys who made all the news and got the attention of all the news media were the tech titans. Elon Musk of X, Jeff Bezos of Amazon and the Washington Post, Mark Zuckerberg, who created Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, and more, many more. Sundar, the guy who runs Google. They were all there as the president delivered a message about unity, about optimism, and about always now putting America first. As you will see in this soundbite, no clapping nor any standing ovation, however, from now former President Joe Biden or any of the Democrats sitting behind Mr. Trump, even when he discussed surviving an assassin's bullet.
Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. Thank you.
I mean, I get it. They don't generally stand for the other side. If he hadn't finished it with Make America Great Again, they probably would have stood, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad we don't have to find out, but maybe we can give him that one. Whatever. Everybody else was on their feet, clapping away, and it was a beautiful moment. And Trump seemed contemplative and seemed a bit more serene. He's definitely in a great mood. He's been working around the clock, and that you can only imagine what that was like for him to return. You know, he talked about how they tried to kill me. They indicted me, and I'm back. I did it. I survived. But perhaps my own favorite moment from this speech was President Trump announcing the executive actions he plans to take today. They're happening now, including that the federal government will only recognize two genders.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. We will drill, baby, drill. I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
And wait until you hear how exactly he did that, because now we have the executive orders, and they're a thing of beauty. I know so many people who have worked so hard for this moment were rejoicing on that portion of the speech. And when you read the executive actions that he took on that, it's just absolutely huge. Thank God he won. The speech had a fittingly Trumpian ending where he boldly declared that America is entering a new period of peace and prosperity.
Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. We will stand bravely, we will live proudly, we will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
First speech as the 47th president. CNN's John King called the president's speech dark. Of course, we always hear that when Trump speaks. And here's Gayle King over on CBS making it all about race.
Guys, I have to say, I'm looking at this crowd. I do not see many people of color. Has anybody else besides me observed that? I'm fascinated by why that is.
on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Oh, my God. You know what? Why don't you take a look at your own party if you're looking for absence of diversity, okay? See what happened to the working class because they fled your party, Gayle King, in droves. And they're not coming back anytime soon, you elitist snob who's obsessed over people's melanin. Nobody in the Republican Party thinks like that. And by the way, there were plenty of people of color, both there and in the overflow room and over at the Capitol Arena. And I saw them myself when I was there yesterday. So get over yourself. Increased tariffs on our trade partners, tax cuts, regulation changes. There's a reason why gold is a diversification tactic in a market that remains uncertain. Now more than ever, Birch Gold is releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. To get your free copy, along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold, just text MK to the number 989898. Here are the facts. The national debt continues to increase. Our interest payments on the national debt continue to increase. Gold can be your hedge against a weakened dollar. And Birch Gold can convert an existing IRA or 401k in whole or in part into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Text MK to 989898 and get your free copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. There's no obligation, just information. Wouldn't you like to know why everybody's rushing to gold? With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, and thousands of happy customers, find out more about Birch Gold. Text MK to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.